Making another video. Tonight, come home. Was going to get a couple drinks. Asked my wife for a little bit of wine. I'm on meds, granted, but she treats me like a child now. This is all the psychological warfare that's going on. Now she's calling the pastor when I walk down there to tell him what I did, and she was with crisis prevention and all other kinds of things. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll see what I've been going through. I was originally in the ICU in October, came out with PTSD, which I'm sure I already had PTSD. I think most people do have PTSD. And tonight practically begged just for a glass or two of wine, and she wouldn't give it to me. And before, she's the type of girl, she would have taken me to the beer store at 1:45 in the morning. But now she won't do anything like that. She says enabling me. I'm not an alcoholic. I rarely drink. I used to be an alcoholic. I believe that I was 7 years sober, but that's when it was a problem. It's not a problem. Right now I'm under so much depression and anxiety, and with the sleeping disorder where I can't sleep at night. So tonight I, off one of my tenants, borrowed a few bucks to get a few beers, and she's completely went off the deep end. Everything is scripted. Everything seems scripted. It's like psychological warfare. If you watch my other videos, you'll know that I had the insomnia for like 4 or 5 months. Now I'm back to having the insomnia again. I have no pleasure in my life. Everything is just complete depression, anxiety, fear. I'm in constant fear. I've had people make up things about me, say things about me, say that I said this or did this. And now it's to the point where I have to record myself with an audio thing every time I go somewhere to make sure that another charge or something doesn't come against me. I've been in these institutions, 3 of them, which are not really institutions. It was like people were put there and they knew specific things about me, or things that necessarily weren't true, but things that I suspected that they were going to come after me for. I don't know how to explain all this, because to everybody it seems crazy. The people involved know it's not crazy. They know that they've been put in my life to destroy me. I don't want to be in a relationship. I just want to be by myself. I don't want to be under any microscope anymore. I want to be left alone. I'm scared of everyone and everything. I'm completely broken. I may not have been the best guy before all this, but I know that I have compassion on everybody. I would just like one real friend. If somebody out there can be a friend, or at least an acquaintance, anything, because the people that are in my life are not there for me. Even the ones who act like they are, they're not. It's all like a script. It's all psychological warfare. It really started last January, and it's went to a horrible turn now, to the point where I believe that they're going to take me and they're going to torture me. If anyone can help, send a comment. If you can, I can put my number out there to anyone who's willing to talk. I'll tell you the whole story in depth. I'm telling the truth, 100% the truth. They've diagnosed me with bipolar and other things, and it's not that. I have a clear mind. I may have depression. Everyone has depression. Now I really have depression. I have insomnia. I have anxiety. All those things. I admit I have them in spades. It's scary. It's scary living like this. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I wouldn't even wish a tenth of this on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish any of it, not 1%, on anybody, to the worst person in the world. Please message me. Help me somehow. Not money. I don't need money. Not that I'm rich, not that I am doing good at all financially, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for somebody to be a friend, a compassionate, a listening ear, somebody that will hear me out, hear my whole story. I'm not a psycho. I'm just looking for friends, and I will not work with anyone who's going through a similar situation. Even if you're not, somebody that will hear the voice of truth, who knows when someone's telling the truth. I wouldn't be on YouTube here looking to just talk to people, and I'm not looking to date. I'm not looking to anything like that. I know what this has done to my face. This depression, this anxiety, this psychological warfare has destroyed me. I can't sleep at night. I make these videos sometimes just to hear myself, to make sure that I'm still human, that maybe I'm somehow counseling myself through it. Because when I talk to my wife or anybody else, they come up with the same thing over and over and over again. It's like a script. Everything's like a script. If anyone knows about psychological warfare, please message me. Leave a comment. I will respond to everybody who leaves a comment. I feel God's hands against me too. So when people send me scripture and stuff, I appreciate it. If you want to, that's fine. But I know my Bible, and I believe that God has allowed this for whatever reason. I have no idea. I beg to God every day. I plead with him. Please make this stop. Please let me just, even if I go to hell, let me live this life here. Give me 10 more years. Don't let them torture me. It's horrible having that in your stomach all the time and in your heart. That feeling of hopelessness, hopeless despair. I used to have so much hope in Jesus. No, I don't. And it's been over a year since this all started. Since the ICU started. I would trade places with anyone. I just ask for somebody. I pray someone watches my videos and that they will know then I'm talking from a true heart. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be a believer, non-believer, believer, either way. And I know everyone's going to say, don't give up. God hasn't given up on you. It sure feels like he did. And he's empowered the other ones. So this is an uphill battle is an understatement. So someone out there, please respond back. And watch my other videos if you can. Well, you know what? While I'm here, I'm just going to put it out there. October, I was in the ICU. I came out. The doctor said I had PTSD. Everyone that's in the ICU does. That's understandable. But I was still biding time, and I was still going on with life. And even though it was hard, I felt that my wife was my support system and that things were going to get better. It went on. We were both doing DoorDash together. The one night I did, I raged on her. And I regret that day more than anything in my life. And it was over something stupid. It was over the wrong toppings on a pizza and going to the wrong place. We're at Domino's, and I started to be crazy and went off on her. Very ruthless, very horrible person. And she did so much for me. And this, I think it was in November. December, November, or then Thanksgiving and everything went fairly well. And then December we had Christmas here, and that went fairly well too. In January we had a Bible study, and I had insomnia that night, the next night, the following night. Didn't sleep for 72 hours. When I finally did sleep, it was maybe for an hour, but it wasn't like restful sleep at all. It was just probably just exhaustion. And then I woke up completely wide awake, and then was up for another 3 days. And this kept going on, where I would sleep maybe an hour or two and be up for 3 or 4 days at a time. Like someone gave me a shot of adrenaline or something. The insomnia went on until around, I'd say around April or May. Then one of the tenants called one night while we were out and said, you're not going to believe this. There was 2 cops in front of the house and pulling over a car. I was like, what do you call us for to tell us that for? Someone pulling over a car. But right away I was like, I bet you one of my exes made up something about me. Pertaining to something maybe heinous. That started, I don't want to call it paranoia, because a lot of it was real in my mind. It was like, it wasn't just delusional. I had these thoughts that came through my mind that they're coming to get me. And it's not schizophrenia, and it's not bipolar, or nothing like that. they would be real thoughts that were like almost like you can call it mind control ultra, but I believe that. I was into a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff, looking into that, always on YouTube, but didn't realize that even a regular schmuck like me could get pulled into something like that. And I've never done nothing heinous. I'm not wired that way. Not at all. But I felt like a lot of people in my life were coming after me. And then one of the tenants I had, we had gotten into quite a few altercations, physical altercations. And I had a dream about him, and I went and had my wife pull up the number, his number, that she said she had blocked. And called, and he was in the hospital. And even his niece said, "How did you know he was in the hospital?" I said, "I had a dream about him." I believe it was mind control ultra. He was in there supposedly with a psychological condition, his niece said. He thought he said he had stroked out, had a stroke. But his niece said it was psychological. Well, after a while of all this, my wife suggested that I go and check myself in to a mental place. I know people don't call them that. I call them that. So I checked myself in after the insomnia and the depression and all this. And not that I felt like I needed to, but I felt she said she was going to check me in if I didn't. So I thought it'd be better if I checked myself in. So I checked myself in. And there I ended up picking up a charge. I would hear in this place a saw going, and then children screaming. And I was like, why are they playing that for me? I've never done anything to anyone. After a while of this, I started thinking they're going to torture me. They're going to start torturing me. So I took off the back of the toilet, and this was like a jail cell. I took the plate off, and I went around saying, I'm not going to hurt anyone. I just want to get out of here. Just let me out. Well, come to find out, the officers ended up coming. And they didn't tell me to drop it or put it down or anything like that. They pepper sprayed the hell out of me. And they took the thing out of my hand, the plate. I was trying to block my face with the plate to block the pepper spray. Well, I ended up getting a second-degree assault, and they went around saying that I was going around saying, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, which never happened. That was lie number one. Then, after finding out all this information, I'm hanging out with my wife. With the holidays coming up, I told her to call my sister. I wanted to try to get things all right before the holidays, before Christmas and everything. My sister texted like a book and said about the time that I headbutted my ex-wife, which never happened. That she came over and I headbutted my ex-wife. And yeah, I never went to jail for anything like that. In New York State, you domestic, they take you right to jail. Ask questions later. Everything I'm telling you is the truth. I did have domestic one time in my life with my ex-wife. And that was it. I have never hit a woman after that. Never would. Not saying, not just afraid of the law, but it's just not right to do. And I figured out that even if a woman upsets you or gets you angry or mad, you could always take a walk or take off and just leave. My ex-wife was bipolar. And I don't want to say she drove me to it, but she could be pretty abusive herself. And after 3 years of marriage with her, it was a reaction, and I hit her. And I felt miserable about it, and not for nothing, I cut myself on my arm, and just because I felt like a piece of shit. So anyway, that's all I have for tonight. There's more to it, and I will give you more as I can. Thank you all, and God bless.